I read you a chapter from this book a couple of weeks ago, Notes on a Nervous Planet by Matt Haig. And there's another chapter that I found really interesting. It says pocket watches first came about during the 16th century and, like so many consumer desirables, were exclusive status symbols to begin with, novelties for the nobility. A fancy pocket watch in the middle of that century cost in the region of £15, which was more than a farm labourer earned in a year. And all that for a watch that didn't even have a minute hand. It was, however, the pocket watch that seemed to make people become a bit antsier about time, or at least antsier about checking the time. When the diarist Samuel Pepys first treated himself to a pocket watch, a very fine one it is, in London in 1665, he quickly realised, like so many modern internet users, that having access to information gives you one kind of freedom at the expense of another. He wrote in his diary on the 13th of May, "But Lord, to see how much of my old folly and childishness hangs upon me still, that I cannot forbear carrying my watch in my hand in the coach all this afternoon, and seeing what o'clock it is 100 times, and am apt to think with myself, how could I be so long without one, though I remember since I had one and found it a trouble, and resolved to carry one no more about me while I lived." It's said that there are two types of time. The one that we're all familiar with is chronos. Chronos is where we get our words like chronological, and it's that idea that time goes in a straight line. It's that idea that there's something coming and we better not be late. You know, for example, dishes need washing, dinner needs cooking, the next meeting is the one that we have to attend and we better not be late. It's that thing that gives us deadlines and tells us that we always need to be thinking about what's next. Chronos is what tells us there's not enough time. Chronos time says there's so much we have to do and we better not wait. It is about quantity rather than quality. I don't know about you, but I find myself constantly checking the time. Have I done enough? Have I got enough time left to finish what I have to do? When is my next deadline? What is it all about? And yet in this moment, what if, going back to what Richard was saying yesterday, what if it wasn't about chronos? What if it wasn't about what comes next? What if it was about the time that we have now? There's a second type of time, and that second type of time is called kairos. The idea of kairos is that it's about the now. It's about the moment that we find ourselves in. It's about quality rather than quantity. I don't know if you've ever seen an artist at work, you know, where time doesn't matter. What matters is the beauty of the creation. Or if you've seen a child at play, where it doesn't matter how long they spend doing something. It is about being absorbed in the moment. It's about experiencing the play and the pleasure. Or if you've ever seen a Christian lost in worship. You know, that moment where all that matters is you and God. Where all that matters is allowing yourself to express your praise and your thanks, your gratitude, maybe even your mourning. But it's about experiencing and living in the moment. Kairos is one of those buzzwords that comes back time and time again, and I can never really remember what it's actually about, but I've heard it 2 or 3 times this week. What if we're in a kairos moment right now? What if instead of it being about time management, what if it wasn't just about how much time we have or haven't got? And what if it was about how can I use this moment here and now to the best of my ability? What would it look like for me to be absorbed in this moment? In the early 2000s, there was a song by a band called Moloko, and it's got one of those bass riffs that, you know, if you heard it, you'd be able to sing along to it. But basically, the song was called "The Time Is Now." And what she's singing about? She's singing about the fact that we have this moment. What are we going to do with it? There have been love songs written about it time and time again. This is my moment. This is my perfect moment with you. How are we going to use it? How are we going to make the most of this time that we have? The end of Moloko's song says, "Let's make this moment last." I wonder, the moment that we found ourselves in, with a chance to stop or to slow down. The moment we found ourselves in, with a chance to meet with God in a new or a different way. I wonder if this moment that we've got, this Kairos moment, is one that we could use to the max. And instead of just making it last, let's make this moment count.
Give up yourself onto the moment. The time is now. Give up yourself onto the moment. Let's make this moment last.